Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap. This is our pre-market session where we set up our trade plan for the day. We take a look at the macro to the micro, the structure of the market, and then drill down to our trade levels and our targets and our hypotheses for the day. Quantum Leap Futures is a subscription service. We do this live session each morning, and then we do live analysis and trading during the course of the trading hours. If you're interested in getting more information, please contact me at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com or give me a call 647-545-8065. Love talking about the market, talking about trading. And then you can reach me through Skype, Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. If you want more of these videos to get an idea of what we do each morning, do a search on YouTube, Quantum Leap Futures, and please follow us on Twitter at Crazy2. And if you like what we do, please give us a like on YouTube as well. Before we get going, we do have to do legals. So let me do that. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions made. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own risk metrics. Okay, so yesterday we were basically trading off of two key levels on the morning, in around this 35.50 and in around the value area high that was sitting right there at around 31.50. We dipped down, went down to test the double distribution. This was a key line in the sand for us. Below this, we were looking for lower move down to test that 21 to 23 area and test this naked VPOC down here at 23. We dipped down, didn't quite hold, and then they rotated all the way back up, tried to break it out of the prior day range, got as high as 38.75. They left the overnight low alone, didn't quite get to our upper key line in the sand, and then they rolled over and they rotated all the way back down and hit all our targets down here. Buyers stepped in down at the value area low, so we had an 80% destination trade, value area destination trade from the value area high to the value area low. Buyer stepped in and took us right back up through value. Okay, tried to get above the 35, failed there, and then came back down and basically chopped around the LVN of the double distribution as they filled that area in around that 27.25. It was actually tough trading in the latter part of the day. It was a little bit easier in the morning. Okay, so let's just take I got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to just try to hit as much as we can. Oh, sorry, I took one trade already off the news just to build some Theo. So just looking at our basic, trends in the different time frame, we have violated the trend on the monthly. The weekly, continues to stay strong trend, good slope and separation to the downside, rejecting the 9 EMA from below. Trend is very strong on the weekly. On the daily, it's starting to accelerate. We're starting to get to some slope, not quite separation, but the trend after consolidation is starting to continue down. And then on the 4-hour, the trend continues to accelerate to the downside. On the 30-minute, same thing, you're getting downside trend. On the 15-minute, downside trend, slope and separation. And then on the 5-minute, we're trying to hold above what I consider to be a very key level, which is going to be the it's shifted down to 04 now, but it has been in around this 0750 area. We did get a low overnight of 750 and we came down on the news and held it one tick higher. So we could get a rotation back up in towards that 13, into the Globex VPOC. But let's take a look at this on the big picture. I put in the room earlier the 3-day microcomposite VPOC, where the most traded price is at that 23.50, 23.75 area. You can see that the overall microcomposite VPOC from this significant breakout candle on the 21st, where we've started this whole balance area, that has now shifted down to 23.50. So we've shifted the VPOC from all the way in the 60s all the way down to the 23s. So we're just above or just below current value, and 23 is going to be an important level for us today. It has been, every time we've come down here, we've come in. Last time we were down here, the 2-day microcomposite VPOC is 23. For the last time we were down here, you had 23. So we still have a lot of price acceptance in this 23 area. The value area low, which is the key right now, is right here at 1904. And then what I've done is I've taken the 3 days. Let me just send this to the back. It's hard to see because they kind of overlap. The 3 days, August 24th, 25th, and 26th, and that big breakdown day with the swing low down at 21.75 on the December contract. It was 18.31 on the September contract. The 3-day microcomposite VPOC is 23 as well. A microcomposite LVN here at 12.75. But more importantly, the value area low here is down at 18.83 1/4. So we've got some area down in the 1800s that we could go and test today if we do not hold the 04 level. So let's take a look at the 3 days that I'm talking about. I posted the picture. You can see this is the 24th. 25th, 26th. This is a 30-minute candle. You can see that we gapped down, went down and hit that 21.75, and then rotated all the way back up to 41, failed, and came all the way down to the 8. I gotta send this to the back. And then, we rotated all the way back down and we closed at the 1859.50. The VPOC for that day was at 1897. And then the next day we gapped up and then took it all back and came right back down into that 1857.59 area, and we closed at 1864. And then the next day we gapped up, came down, tested the 60s again, buyer stepped in and then rotated us back up, and that's when we started that whole move all the way back up to the last swing high. But key for these 3 days is that the value area high on this day, the value area low on this day, and the value area high on this day, if we get below the current microcomposite value area low at 06. We're going to come in and we're going to be in this overlapping value area that can take us down into, the value area low on this day is 69.75 and the value area low on this day is 70.50. So just split the difference and go 1870, we come down, we're overlapping value for these 3 days. So just wanted to point that out. The last day before where they accepted value before they popped up, okay, and gap back up, that's our 20-day ATR downside target. Our 20-day right now, ATR is running at 42 off of the high overnight at 1936.25. That brings us and gives us an ATR target down here at 1894. So very important, level down here at 94, and I would make that a big target if we get into the 1800s. Okay, so let's go and take a look at yesterday, which we already did. Let me just switch this back over to a 5-minute, and we'll get our Globex chart out. Globex chart is ugly triple distribution. So we went down. Let's put our overnight high in. Our overnight high is up at 36.25. Basically just above the IB high from yesterday. And then our overnight low currently is down at 0750. And the VPOC I don't think is going to change. It's going to stay at 13. And then we still have this naked VPOC at 1912. And we've talked about that importance of that 1912 number. And then we've got this area from basically, I'm looking at it from 16 all the way up to the 24-hour VWAP, which is at 1975, which is a low volume node that will take us up into testing the value area high. So I'm going to be using, the range low. I'm going to be using the 16 area, 1650 as a trade area, because I think if we get above the 1650, we'll go up and we'll test the weekly IB low, which is still at 1775. It will remain there because it's already set. And then if we get above that, then I'm thinking we'll come up and we'll test the range low at 2075. And then we got the IB or the VWAP extension, 2 times extension down just below it at 21. So I'm going to just incorporate these 2 numbers. And then if we get inside of the prior day, the 23 is a natural target. It's going to be a huge target. And that's going to be a simple trade to take. So I think that if you get in and you're running long and we get up into this 21, don't be real quick to take it off, because if we get inside of the 21 area, I think we'll get a quick push up into 23. Very, very important number. But this whole area right here overnight is low distribution, low price acceptance, so they could flush through that 16 up to 20 very quick and continue to go there. If we reject the 16, then I think we're going to chop around in this lower distribution overnight and come down and test the overnight lows. I think the overnight low is going to get taken out. My main hypothesis is a breakout of this 23 area, this 13 area, and come down and test the 1800s. But below us, where's the levels? We don't really need anything here other than what we've got there. So let's just extend this out. Of course, below us right now, I've been using this this 11.25, 11.50 I should say, as an area. I took my first trade there this morning, so I'm going to be using that as a trade area, and I'm going to use 11.50 because I think if we get below the 11.50, that we've got a pretty darn good target here at 08.25, just in front of the overnight low. That's that CHVN. And then the takeout of the overnight low at 7.50. And then there's really nothing down below it until you get to this 0450 CLVN, but I'm going to be paying more attention to this 04, because below 04, then I think we're going to see the 1800s. So this is my key line in the sand. Okay, to peek into and we're already coming down. We're below that 11.50 again, coming down into this 08. We could expand this overnight low again. And then below the 04, of course, you've got the 1900, but you've got a little bit of support here at 150. And I really don't think that 19 has been sliced through like butter several times. So the real key to me is this 1898.75. And I'd be using 19 as a target, not as an entry. Below the 0150. And then once we're below the 1898, the key target is that that prior microcomposite VPOC at 94, our ATR target to the downside, and the CHVN below the 1898. There's a little bit of one here at 96.75, so I'd be targeting that as your first target below the 98.75. But the real test is going to be here at the 94. And this is where the profile gets very blunt. So this is where you got to go back to those profile days and take a look at where we could find some support. And there's a little bit of an area at the 88.75. And then you've got 86.50 as a target below that. And then you've got the 77.75. Remember that 77.75 was the 87 in the September contract, and a very important number. Oh, if I can find it. 1877.75. And this is going to be the next key level. Because if we get below this 77, I really think we're going to make a bigger move down. This whole area down here, below 77, all the way down into this 32.50 is very blunt. But remember that the value area low for those 2 days is down there at 1870 area. Actually, that should be trade area. And then if we get below that, we've got naked close at 64. Got a target at 65 and a quarter. And then below that, you've got a little bit of support coming in at 56.50. I'm doing this pretty low today just in case we flush. And then below that, you got 49.75. I just used a 50. And then another key level is going to be this 39.75. But the big one is going to be 32.50. And then that puts us inside of this former microcomposite balance area where we spent quite a bit of time in there with the next big target down at the 21.75. I don't think we're going to get there today, but we just have to be careful. So that takes care of the downside. If we can get back above the 1150, look for them to take out the naked VPOC at 12, retest the 13, move up to test the 1650, and then below that into here. Move up into that 23. Resistance is going to come in at the 1825.75, which is basically just below the value area low from yesterday at that, what was it, 26. So basically use the 26. And then above that, you've got the 27.50. Naked VPOC, the naked close at 29.25, which is going to put you at the midpoint and the VWAP as well. So you got this little cluster here. And then above that, just above that, you've got the 30 and a quarter level. And if we get above that, then I'd be looking for a destination move up into the value area high up here at 35. You got a target at 31.75, target at 33. But I'd be looking for a continuation and a 80% destination trade. And then above that, a takeout of the overnight high and a move up in to test that 37 and a quarter. It's not a lot there. You got 38.75, but you've got the range low from the prior day there. I'm going to use that. And then above that, it's all going to be about this 40.50 again. And then above the 40, you've got 43. Remember, that's that microcomposite VPOC for those 6 days. 43 and a quarter. And then 48.75. It's right there. I just used the the upside ATR target off of that 750 low is at 49 and a quarter, and then you've got 52, and then above that you've got the 60.75, which was the microcomposite VPOC before it shifted down to 23 yesterday, and I don't think we're going to see much higher than that today. We also got remember the week open, I'm sorry, the month open is 57.50. So let's mark that there. This is going to come into play with critical mass in the next few days, especially if we get into the 1800s, because then we could hit critical mass and the buyers could dry up, capitulate, and the bears take us down to those lower levels in the 1800s. All right, so we are going to gap down. What's the size of the gap? The close yesterday was 29 and a quarter. If we open up in this area in around 12, we've got a 17 and a quarter point gap. Above 15, you've got a very low percentage of a gap fill. But, you know, we'll figure out, just figure 12 and 29 and a quarter. The half gap fill is at 2070. So basically right at the range low at 2075 is the half gap fill, thereabouts. Again, depends on where we open in the next few minutes. Well, next 15 minutes, we still could go down lower. Let's take a look at gold. Gold has popped up, testing the range high. You know, this could be our breakout day that we were looking for, a move above this 43.60 area. I think we get a move up into the 54.55 area. If we fail to break out of here, look for them to come back and test the microcomposite value area high at 40. And if we get inside of 40, a move back into this 37, maybe back into the 31 area. But I think if we come back in, they're going to find some buyers here at 37.60 and then rotate us back up. Gold wants to break out. It's looking for a move. I'm really looking for a move at 54. So I'll be watching gold and hopefully find a trade that I can get long on today. Take a look at the Keltner real quickly. I know I've been a lot to cover this morning, so anytime you get into new territory, it can get wild. Our Keltner center line, 11 and a quarter. There's that level I was talking about. Above that, upper Keltner test is 17. There's the weekly IB low just above it, and just below that key 1650 area. Below the lower center Keltner line, will move down. Will bring us down to the 0575. Take out the overnight low and probably come down and test that key line in the sand at 1904. So that is going to complete the pre-market trade plan setup. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you tomorrow, or on the flip side, I should say.